Lunch in Sydney was not for the battlers. It was Kerry Packer's first public appearance since his recent surgery in New York.
Does Mr Howard deserve a second term? Of course he does.
Tomorrow's future, job-wise, lies in reducing business costs and generating a more productive Australian nation and Australian economy.
And the Prime Minister says there's no way Kim Beazley can get unemployment down to 5%.
It's the tools, it's the policies to get to the target that counts, not the target. I mean, it's like saying you plan to win the game is to say you're going to win.
But there's increasing nervousness about the government's tax plans, and even worse, it's coming from the Coalition's own backbench. Queensland National Bob Catter wants food exempted from the GST. Deanne Kelly wants the whole tax subjected to a referendum. But as he explained how toys would be cheaper under a GST, the soft and cuddly Treasurer wasn't too worried by the backbench revolt.
Well, it'd be an odd old day, wouldn't it, if you didn't get mavericks from the North Queensland National Party.
In Sydney, Jeff Bruce, 7 Nightly News.
Northeastern Victoria has been hit by widespread flooding. Dozens of residents and campers have been evacuated after heavy rain, and there's major flood warnings tonight on 4 major rivers.
Near Bright, homes are deluged. The floods hit after heavy rains, 250 millimetres at Mount Buffalo. At Whitfield, a caravan park was evacuated. Homeowners scrambled to protect their property, floodwaters rising with alarming speed.
I put the sandbags around the air vents under the floor.
Yes, we are worried. We're starting to put furniture up and raise things for safety, and the water's rising so quick, it's very scary.
The waters have cut at least 23 roads, including the Omeo and Kiowa Valley highways, stranding cars and heavy transport. In the Buckland Valley at Bright, 15 homes underwater, 12 evacuated as the flooding moved in. At Myrtleford, a frantic scramble to protect low-lying houses and its caravan park. The Mount Beauty district was also hit hard. Upstream, the Clover and Junction dams filled and spilled, the retaining timber boards collapsing. The operator says that's what the dam is designed to do, and the impact on Mount Beauty will be negligible. The Weather Bureau says the deluge is normal after several dry years.
This is normal, and I think perhaps we've forgotten a bit what normal really is.
The rain band which brought the floods is expected to move away tonight, but the northeast remains on alert as the rivers rise over the next 24 hours. Nicole Chavastek, 7 Nightly News.
And in South Australia, the repair bill from last night's ferocious storm is expected to exceed $10 million. Market gardeners in the plains north of Adelaide were worst hit after being pounded by hailstones.
For most, last night's storm was a spectacular sky show. For 500 property owners in the Virginia, Gawler River and Two Wells area, it was a devastating nightmare. In the space of 10 minutes, hailstones the size of golf balls smashed glass houses and pulverised crops.
There's nothing left, literally nothing left.
Glasshouse, tomato and capsicum crops can't be saved. It could take months to clean up the shards of broken glass.
I can't saw this. It's got, glass in there, might be glass in there. The quality assurance won't accept it,
Outside, potato, onion, lettuce, broccoli and cabbage crops will all have to be rotary hoed back into the soil. Damage to this property has been estimated at close to $100,000. But the long-term effect for South Australians is that vegetable prices are set to skyrocket. About half the market gardens on the Northern Plains have been devastated. Some fear financial ruin. Peter Caldecott, 7 Nightly News.
Luxury car buyers in 4 states have been duped by a sophisticated gang dealing in stolen BMWs. Police have seized cars worth $5 million. The BMWs sold to unsuspecting drivers after being stolen interstate.
These are just a handful of the 40 BMWs seized by police in what they believe is one of Australia's most sophisticated car scams. Detectives say the cars are stolen in New South Wales, re-registered in other states, then sold to unsuspecting victims who were told the cars had been repossessed by a finance company. The luxury cars were stolen to order by a gang of professional thieves who had an intimate knowledge of the BMW's security features, leaving virtually no evidence of a break-in. The gang would clone the stolen car's identity with a legitimately owned BMW, making the vehicle untraceable.
There are a number of people that turn around and purchase vehicles from New South Wales, and at this stage it appears that they are innocent parties to the purchase and disposal of the vehicles in Victoria.
Police suspect the BMW gang or disgruntled buyers are responsible for a brutal attack on Epping man Simon Curry, who was not involved in the scam. Steve Wiles had his company's BMW seized in the police swoop.
We've just been caught out by a very sophisticated crime gang.
Police say 150 cars have been seized in New South Wales and further vehicles will be confiscated in this state as inquiries continue.
Worst case, probably 80 to 100 victims over here.
Peter Morris, 7 Nightly News.
After 2 weeks winning a record haul of Commonwealth Games medals, the pride of our nation arrived home today. With smiles as big as the outback, they streamed from their Dreamtime Qantas Jumbo into the arms of family and friends.
A homecoming for a VIP flight of sporting heroes, triumphant but tired. Loved ones gathered, their pride shared by the nation.
The most successful Australian team ever to go overseas.
They carried 198 medals, a new high, an old song.
I still call Australia welcome home.
We've just made history and it's just been a wonderful tournament. It's good to get out and see the Australian public. They're the ones that have been really supporting us.
And the welcome committee of workers, pretty glad to see them too. Only the swim team weren't here, they're in Perth competing again. Golden girl Susie O'Neill had more humble ambitions.
Probably have a proper shower and, I don't know, go to bed and have a sleep.
They'll have to find a place for all those medals.
I might kiss her, to start off with.
Kisses too for that cartwheeling weightlifter.
He does it at home usually when...
Not much space.
And for the sprinter who survived a court battle to run.
The bronze in the 100 was the icing on the cake.
I sort of saw it as a stepping stone and I didn't realise that I'd succeed that well.
Matt Shervington broke an Aussie record. This enough to break the hearts of newfound fans. The first time we've seen girlfriend Jessica.
From here, it's straight back to training. And the next time they'll all be together again, wearing the green and gold, will be Sydney 2000.
But first, a little R&R.
I'm really looking forward to going to the AFL Grand Final.
Kylie Gillies, 7 Nightly News.
Ahead in the late news, Italy's most wanted man nabbed on the run in Australia. And funny man Jim Carrey in a not-so-funny movie scuffle.
Tomorrow, fat is beautiful.
We're fat. We're here. Get over it.
Fat is proud. Fat Power coming to Melbourne, plus Lee Matthews talking teams with Dennis Pagan on Today Tonight.
I was angry when they brought ineffective gun laws in. I was angry that my rights were taken away from me. Angry I couldn't go shooting one day with young Jamie here. But now I'm angry because the gun laws were just the beginning. While our local hospital closed and our roads deteriorated, the government scrapped $500 million. Vote for the Shooters Party this time, because we want Howard to know we're still angry and we want a fair go.
Written and authorised by Neville Sayers. Spoken J. Daniels for the Shooters Party. 6 Diana Court, Langwarrin.
In a world of new age sensitivities comes a car that delivers true inner peace. A fully independent rear suspension that's at one with the road. And a new 6-cylinder VCT engine so advanced, it delivers the economy of a 6 with the power you'd expect from a V8. The sensitive new age Fairmont gear. Hug a corner today.
Victoria's national parks are untouched by anyone. Except for botanists, water technologists, biologists, ornithologists, zoologists, entomologists, lepidopterists, breeding specialists, soil specialists, and geologists who help our rangers manage the environment. You see, national parks aren't this beautiful by accident. They need to be cared for. And they're just some of the 3,000 parks and reserves cared for by Parks Victoria. To find out more about our national parks, call us on 131963. Parks Victoria, caring for our environment.
Saturday, 26 September, the world will be watching the 1998 AFL Grand Final. Adelaide versus North Melbourne, the sporting battle of the year. The Grand Final live 2 o'clock Saturday on footy's home ground, Prime.
One of Italy's most feared criminals has appeared in a Sydney court after being stopped at customs with a false passport. Gang leader Giovanni Farina is wanted back home for kidnapping a wealthy businessman and killing a police officer.
Giovanni Farina is his real name, but his passport says Luigi Valiante. He was arrested at Sydney Airport for not declaring thousands of dollars buried in his travel bag. Released on bail, Valiante seemed a harmless traveller whose ignorance landed him in jail. But his fingerprints exposed him as Giovanni Farina, kidnapper and accused killer, wanted for his part in last year's kidnapping of this wealthy Italian businessman.
Buonasera dal TG1, è finita. Dunque in Australia...
Farina's arrest is big news in Italy. He's been on the run for nearly a year. Italian newspaper La Fiamma says Farina is the mastermind behind several kidnappings. One victim had part of his ears cut off.
That one was particularly a big thing in Italy because it tragically ended with the death of an undercover police officer.
The last time Giovanni Farina appeared in court, he made a spectacular dash for freedom, leaping from the dock before crashing into a plate glass window. This time, authorities were taking no chances. There was a guard on every door and two behind him in the dock. Refused bail, Farina is expected to be extradited to Italy. Joanna Rouse, 7 Nightly News.
A day after those explicit grand jury tapes, President Clinton's approval rating has surged. And as the White House works on a deal aimed at stalling any impeachment moves, the president's received a big boost from another world leader.
From Nelson Mandela, one of the world's most admired and respected leaders, overwhelming support for another leader struggling to regain his dignity.
President Clinton is a friend of South Africa and Africa, and I believe the friend of the great mass of black people.
It's the type of endorsement Bill Clinton desperately needs.
And we thank you, Mr. President, for being the person we'd all like to be on our best day.
Although Mr. Clinton's approval rating has rocketed overnight. One poll from 59% before his X-rated testimony hit the airwaves to 68% today. The president's defence team is now moving to discredit Ken Starr and his report to try and undermine public support for impeachment. And there's now talk of a deal, one White House strategy. The president may be prepared to stop arguing that he didn't lie under oath if Congress is willing to spare him from impeachment.
The decision about cutting a deal is very, very premature.
In the United States,
African and Botswanan troops have stormed into neighbouring Lesotho to stop violent uprisings there. The 600 troops were under heavy gunfire as they marched towards the presidential palace and army bases. They say they've been invited by the government to restore order after months of bloodshed. During the fighting, looters stripped dozens of shops, then burnt them. Hurricane George is causing havoc in the Caribbean. At least 21 people are dead after it hit Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands and the Dominican Republic. The death toll is expected to rise. George is now headed for Florida. US authorities are on alert and areas south of Miami have been evacuated. Those left behind are preparing for winds of up to 200 kilometres an hour and torrential rain. Aussie actor Nicole Kidman has made her London stage debut in a play that's a bit risque. She's being paid regulation wages for the role that includes sex scenes and nudity.
A triumphant debut on the London stage for Australia's favourite actress. Nicole Kidman and husband Tom Cruise made a quick exit as the audience showered her with praise.
Oh, she was spectacular.
Amazing. Far better or greater than I thought. She's truly great.
She's wonderful.
Her talent at accents, even confusing some about her origins.
Well, I wouldn't even know that she wasn't Australian unless somebody told me.
Accustomed to the bright lights of Hollywood, there are no million-dollar pay packets here, just around $600 a week to appear in one of London's smaller theatres. The play, The Blue Room, an erotic drama with scenes of nudity. Nicole's star pulling power, selling out all performances. I'd like to show you what this performance is all about, but I can't. Due to the sensitivity of this debut, all cameras have been banned. Now she awaits the critics' reviews, one already a little reluctant.
Oh, go on. Lovely.
In any case, Nicole certainly leaves some very happy fans. In London, Stan Grant, 7 Nightly News.
Hollywood's madman Jim Carrey has been injured while filming his latest flick. He's apparently been attacked by one of his co-stars. The star was working on the wrestling scene of his film Man on the Moon when things got too rough to handle. His co-star, big-time wrestler Jerry Lawler, allegedly lost control and Carrey refused to give in.
Mr. Lawler went beyond the realm of, again, his profession and attacked Mr. Carrey tonight.
Jim Carrey was taken to hospital wearing a neck brace. His injuries aren't considered serious. He's expected back on set tomorrow. To finance and a boost for Australian stocks today, the All Ordinaries up 39 points despite a 36-point fall on Wall Street. Telstra added 5 cents, Coles Myer 6 and Woolworths 11. BHP was up 29, the National Bank jumped 60 and the Commonwealth Bank was 4 cents dearer. The Aussie dollar's dipped back below 58 US cents. It's at 78 yen and 34 pence. The US dollar's at 1.68 German marks. 288 US dollars buys an ounce of gold. London's FT up in trading tonight. The Nikkei was closed for a holiday and the Hang Seng was up 130 points. Coming up in sport, the countdown to the weekend grand finals as footy fever grips the nation.
Saturday, witness Mother Nature in all her glory. From the producers of the acclaimed Savage Sky series.
We need to get out of here, let's go!
Comes an explosive new television event.
Oh my God.
From volcanoes to earthquakes.
Came up like that.
The cameras don't get any closer than this.
No.
5-star footage of nature's biggest special effects.
The volcano is blowing up.
Hold on tight for the ride of your life. Savage Earth premieres on the world around us. 6:30 Saturday on Prime.
Dip, 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 get a job. Get a job. Get a job. Get a job. Dip, 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 get a job.
At Employment National, we get people for jobs and jobs for people. Employment National, made for the job. Call 133 444 now.
At Flight Centre, we guarantee the lowest airfares.
Fly to Hong Kong, City of Light, from only $899. Pay only $100 more for 4 nights accommodation. How about a Europe fly ride from only $1,699? Plus, pay only $279 for a 3-night stopover in Hong Kong. Or New York from only $1,199.
Call 131-600. That's 131-600.
Call Flight Centre, lowest airfares guaranteed.
Melbourne North, on top of the Strzelecki Ranges in South Gippsland Shire, is the winner of the Keep Australia Beautiful Rural Pride Award, making Melbourne North Victoria's tidiest town. Over the past 12 months, school children, landcare groups and townspeople of all ages have volunteered more than 29,000 hours to a variety of ongoing projects to benefit Melbourne North and the environment. Keep Australia Beautiful Victoria congratulates Melbourne North, more than just a town, a community.
Grand final fever has hit the city of churches with more than 10,000 fans watching the Crows train. The Roos, meanwhile, enjoyed a low-key day before Saturday's big match.
Crows mania took over Football Park. Around 10 to 15,000 fans have crammed into the home of South Australian football, and the spotlight is on the pride of this state. A phenomenal response as the reigning champs had their final hit out on home soil for the year. And while coach Malcolm Blight was grilled by a North Melbourne fan in his press conference, he managed to see the funny side of the prank.
Someone told me this bloke was going to be as good as...
And positive signs on the track with Peter Vardy and Andrew McLeod training solidly.
No, ready to go. You know, it's not a concern at the moment. I haven't thought about it, so I'll just train tonight and see how things go.
So much on Saturday will depend on the ruck duel. Corey McKernan to lock horns with the in-form Crow, Sean Wren.
Rucking's a contest, isn't it? And obviously both of us are going to make a contest out of it. I mean, it's no secret that ruck's a very important role in a finals game.
And Malcolm Blight's fear of a lack of height may see him play rookie ruckman Ben Marsh as a backup to Wren, and to free up David Pittman if he's needed on Wayne Carey.
Corey McKernan made a public appearance to declare himself a certain starter. North's medical staff giving the green light after the Roos had a pool session this morning.
Well, I suppose the proof will be on Saturday. Hopefully we can do the job on Saturday.
Pulled up 100%, and he'll certainly play and train like everyone else tomorrow night.
It's been a smooth ride for Dennis Pagan of late, North winning the last 11 on end, but he's giving away no secrets.
Look, our guys have been pretty good all the way through, mate.
The coach used McKernan in the space usually reserved for Wayne Carey last week, and the King may have to share his crown again.
It was a good tactic, that, wasn't it? Just put myself out of the play. But no, Corey was on fire, so I spoke to Dennis and basically moved on to the ball and let Corey have that space.
Meantime, Winston Abraham's high-flying ability has won him the Cadbury Mark of the Year. Abraham edged out Jeff Farmer, but the Wizard is favourite to gain a handy consolation prize, Goal of the Year.
This could go through if it bounces. It's a goal!
Mark Doran, 7 Nightly News.
It's every footy player's dream to be discovered in a local comp and end up in the NRL Grand Final. Well, that's exactly what's happened to Canterbury's Willie Talau, the young Kiwi going from the Metro Cup to Sunday's date with the Broncos in less than a season.
A Kiwi junior, Willie Talau's father gave him a one-way ticket from Taranaki to Sydney for his 21st birthday. A year later, the party continues as he settles into the new surrounds.
Yeah, it's a lot quicker. Nightclubs open later.
Plucked mid-season from the Moorebank Rams for a few $1,000s and match incentives, he quickly found himself in first grade and part of one of League's great grand final crusades.
Start of the year, I was just cruising along, but she's top-notch right now.
On Sunday, Talau will be marking the man that threatens to depose him at Canterbury next year. Broncos centre Darren Smith has signed with the Bulldogs, but like most at Belmore, Talau remains undaunted.
I've never played against Brisbane before, so it's a first for me, and everything that I've done this year is a first for me, so yeah, I'll just take it as it comes.
Meantime, Brisbane has farewelled the Broncos, who fly into Sydney tonight. Paul Gregg, 7 Nightly News.
To the national weather now, and on the satellite map, a huge band of cloud is stretching from Hobart to Darwin and moving slowly east. Ahead of the cloud, a cool change is driving rain from the west of New South Wales into the northeast of the state. Thunderstorms expected in the west of Queensland tomorrow, along with coastal showers. 29 and cloudy in Cairns, a wet 25 in Brisbane. Rain sweeping across inland New South Wales, Sydney showers and 21, Canberra wet and 14 degrees. Showers contracting to the south and east of Victoria, a bit damp in Melbourne and 16. Showers for Tasmania, Hobart a wet 13 degrees, Launceston 16. South Australia's showers should clear later in the day, 16 under the drizzle in Adelaide. To the west, 19 and showers in Perth, another beautiful day in Broome. And in the Northern Territory, 33 and stormy for Darwin. In the Alice, cloudy skies and a top of 21. And that's all from the 7 newsroom for now. Our next major bulletin is sunrise at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. I'm Georgie Gardner. Thanks for your company. Good night.
8:30 Sunday, the movie blockbuster that swept the world, Pulp Fiction.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
Acclaimed as indisputably great. Tremendous fun, stunning, daring. The action sizzles.
Don't you hate that?
Hey, what?
Uncomfortable silences.
John Travolta, Samuel L. Jackson, Uma Thurman, Harvey Keitel and Bruce Willis. Prime Television presents Pulp Fiction, 8:30 Sunday.
There's no other place we'd rather be.